Folks, buyers are feeling cheated once again. I'll get into that and then the latest home prices and insights for the Peel and Durham region for week ending March 27, 2024. Thank you to the many of you that have subscribed recently. Still, there's lots that watch every single week and you've not yet subscribed. Consider subscribing. Lately, I've been taking a few calls where buyers are feeling cheated about their purchase. Some even asking me, how can they get out of their agreement of purchase and sale before closing date? So I say, well, speak to your realtor. They're in contract with somebody else. It's difficult for me to kind of get involved. It's against our rules for me to get involved, first of all, but they're not my clients. It's hard for me to, really help them, if at all I could. I mean, once you sign an agreement of purchase and sale and it's firm, very little room to maneuver. So speak to your realtor. More importantly, speak to your lawyer if you feel you have a reason to get out of it. But let me tell you why a couple of reasons why these people want to get out. One of them, they purchased a property. It was an offer night and they bought. There were several other offers. They kept bidding up, and they ended up winning on offer night. Their offer was accepted, and then later on one of their visits, the buyer noticed that there are fuses in this home. It's obviously a bit of an older home. There's fuses and not a circuit board, and this buyer doesn't know anything about fuses and obviously sees fuses as an ancient electrical system and had a major issue with fuses and felt that the seller cheated them. I did ask a few questions, and I'll say, well, did you ask the seller or did your realtor ask about the electrical? No. Did you inspect? Did you see it? Did you, when you were there on your showing, did you look for the electrical panel? The answer is no. What about the home inspection? Oh, we didn't do a home inspection. We bought it firm because there was offers. So here's a person who bought a property, and it's not like they're buying properties every single month. So they don't necessarily, as a buyer, always know what to look for, but they do count on their realtor protecting them and representing them. Now, I'm also not saying that the realtor needs to be an electrical expert, but the realtor needs to know enough about that there should be a home inspection, that certain things need to be looked at, inspected to protect their client, in this case, the buyer. That never happened. Now, we've put offers on properties where we know that if there was a condition on home inspection, especially when you're competing with other offers, if there's a condition on home inspection, it could work against you. That doesn't mean there shouldn't be a home inspection. That merely means maybe you do not put a condition of home inspection. But we've done home inspections before the offers go in. We've done home inspections long before offer night. We go, we see the house on a regular showing. If our client likes it and they're contemplating putting an offer, then that's when the discussion comes up where, maybe on offer night, it's going to be difficult to put a home inspection condition, or it'll work against us. Not difficult, but it'll work against us. We've got time now before offer night to do a proper home inspection. So there's ways around it where the buyer is still protected. Same thing with financing. I received a financing call, a call where they had an issue where their firm, they bought on offer night. It's a firm deal now, but their financing isn't going through. And in this case, it wasn't the fact that it's just having difficulties or something changed. They didn't even do anything to start with the pre-approval. Does the buyer always know that? You should. There's enough, information out there about being pre-approved before you go house hunting. But at the very least, their realtor should be protecting them in the sense that we're putting an offer, no financing condition. Listen, we need a financing condition. Like this is just vital to protecting the buyer. So yes, buyers are feeling cheated, but their realtors are letting them down. Offers, the percentage of properties selling in an offer night scenario, in an auction type of environment, that percentage is trending up. It's not trending down. And so there's more and more of these situations coming up where buyers are feeling the pressure that they have to compete, they have to pay more. It's not the case, they don't have to, but that's the environment that they're putting themselves in. Some of it orchestrated, obviously, by the realtor that they're working with that maybe doesn't have the savvy or the know-how to deal with an offer scenario and still protect their buyer client. But at the end of the day, who you hire matters. It's the onus is on, I see it, that the onus is on the realtor to protect their client. And if more realtors focused on protecting their client, there'd be less and less buyers feeling cheated, and as a consequence, more and more buyers feeling protected and good about the choices they're making. If you feel this video can help somebody you know, please pass it along. If you get value from what we're talking about, subscribe. If you want to speak with me about your real estate situation, it's really simple. Up here, there's a link to my calendar. Below this video, in the description, there's a link to my calendar. Click on that, book a time that's convenient for you, and we'll talk about whatever's on your mind. Now, let's get into the numbers. Folks, there are townhouses, and then there's townhouses that are over 2,300 square feet that back onto a forest, that have 4 bedrooms and a huge den. Check out the video at the end of this video or go to 29oleana.ca. Let's have a real close look what's happening in the Peel and Durham regions. We're going to be focused on detached properties in this video for Mississauga, for Brampton, and for Durham. For Durham, we're using Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby as the Durham sample. If we these are just average sold prices right now for the 3 areas that we're going to be focusing on. And I'm away from the first few weeks of the new year. I'm at this area here is the last week of January, first week of February, to see we're at the end of the first quarter, week ending March 27th. How have things gone? What's happened with average prices? Well, if we take this section, generally speaking, for detached properties, all areas have a higher average price than what we had when we started the end of January, first week of February. We're going to start off with Mississauga. For week ending March 27th, 48 detached properties were sold. 5 of those were at $2 million or more. Now, sales for Mississauga were trending up, but over the last, we'll say 4 weeks, sales have been kind of flat. By 3 or 4, they've bounced up and down, but 48 is pretty similar to where we've been over the last 4 weeks. Average sold price, similar trend. It was trending up, but now over the last 3 to 4 weeks, it looks like prices may be trending down. Average sold price currently for week ending March 27th is sitting at $1,525,000. 1,525 is 5% higher than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 8% higher. Median price is sitting at $1,460,000, and median price overall looks like it's trending up. And I'm looking at the dotted line now. That's a 4-week moving average. And same with the average price. However, being a 4-week moving average, if we look at average price, I know these numbers here are taken into account those couple of weeks that where prices were higher there. Kind of looks like maybe from there, prices may be starting to trend down now. Maybe. 48 were sold. half of those, 50%, sold at list price or more. That percentage is trending upwards. 90 were listed. 90 detached properties were listed. Now, versus the previous week, listings did come down. Prior to that, listings were trending up. We were seeing more and more properties coming onto the market. But for last week ending March 27, listings came down. It's a pattern we're seeing across the GTA. And one explanation, it's a good explanation, is that that week is the week before, the week leading into the Easter long weekend. And many sellers will have the attitude of, if we're heading into a long weekend or a holiday season, hold off on the listing, put the property on the market after the long weekend. So curious to see how that theory plays out next week when we should see listings increasing again. Months of inventory sitting at 1.7, and if we go back 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or so weeks, 1.7 is pretty normal, what we've been experiencing over the last few weeks. Let's take a close look at Brampton. 62 detached properties were sold. One of those was at $2 million or more. Now 62, pretty similar to what we've been experiencing as far as sales over the last 3 or 4 weeks. Average sold price does look like it may be trending down. It's now sitting at $1,160,000. 1,160 is 10% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 8% lower. Now, the dotted line, the 4-week moving average, does show prices trending up. But if we focus in on the last few weeks, it looks like we could be seeing a turn there. 62 were sold, 37% sold at list price or more. That percentage was climbing. It's now over the last 3 weeks trending down. For 3 weeks, not a long time, but looks like it's trending down. 129 were listed. That's come down over the last few weeks. And months of inventory slowly starting to climb. We're now sitting at 1.8 months of inventory. That's for Brampton. Durham. For Durham, I repeat, Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby is my Durham sample. 51 were sold. No property sold at $2 million or more. It's pretty clear price has been trending up in the Durham region. Compared to last year, I never said what the price was. Average sold price is $1,199,000. 1,199 is 3% lower than where we were this time a year ago. The median price is 1% higher year over year. Median price pretty much the same as the average price. Median price sitting at $1.2 million. The dotted line, pretty clear. Prices are trending up in the Durham region. 51 were sold, we said. 71% sold at list price or more. That percentage is climbing. We have been hovering going back 2 months. 39, 60, 54. We're now at 71. Durham region, especially Pickering, Ajax, and Whitby, one of the most competitive areas of all the GTA. 95 were listed. Months of inventory. There's really been no change since the middle of January. Sure, it's gone up 1 or 2 points along the way, but 1 month of inventory is pretty much what we've had since middle of January. That's extremely low. That is pretty much, it's a seller's market. You're competing. Almost every listing coming on the market is going to be with an offer night type of scenario attached to it. It's just the way it is. It's what you got to get used to. Here's a quick summary. Months of inventory, 1.7, 1.8, 1. For contrast, I put condos here for Peel region. Condos, it's a whole separate video I do on condos, but you can see the difference. It's pretty much a balanced market when it comes to condos. Detached, it's a seller's market. There's different degrees of a seller's market, but you got to know how to navigate putting in offers when there's an offer night. You can easily say, I'm never going to compete, I'm not going to buy. That's your choice. But the property you want may have an offer night situation set up, and the realtor you're working with has got to be able to navigate and help you get through with that so you don't overpay. Now, check out the awesome townhouse right now. Folks, not every townhouse is created the same. This upscale townhouse has a huge lot. It backs onto a forest, has 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, a big office, and is over 2,300 square feet. Have a look.